Hello everyone, welcome back to the Global Alert TV channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. The news coming out of Ukraine once again highlights the intensity of the conflict as Russia launched a massive barrage of drones and missiles that struck various parts of the country, leaving 3 people dead and many more wounded. Reports from Kyiv confirm that residential areas and critical infrastructure were hit, sparking fires and power outages that lasted for hours. From the outside, the scale of this latest attack tells us how Russia is increasingly relying on aerial weapon systems, particularly kamikaze drones and cruise missiles, to push pressure on Ukraine's defenses. The exterior view of this conflict is clear. Every wave of strikes is intended to showcase military dominance and to test how resilient Ukraine's air defense systems remain under constant stress. The images of broken apartment blocks, damaged hospitals, and burned-out cars on the streets speak louder than words. Each crater left behind is not just a mark on the land but on the psyche of the people who continue to live under daily threat. Inside Ukraine, the interior story is even more painful. Families who once considered their homes safe are forced into underground shelters, basements, and metro stations that have been converted into bunkers. Mothers hold tightly onto their children as sirens wail, warning of incoming attacks, while elderly citizens struggle to descend stairs to find cover. The psychological interior is equally heavy. Constant anxiety, interrupted sleep, and the feeling that nowhere is safe. For many in Kyiv and other targeted cities, life is measured in the minutes between alarms, wondering whether their building will be next. Hospitals inside the cities are overburdened. Interior reports show doctors working under dim lights powered by generators, with staff exhausted but committed to saving lives. The size of this paragraph reflects the magnitude of what happens within, the interior pain, endurance, and resilience of a nation under siege. In terms of performance, Russia's strike campaign demonstrates the destructive capacity of combining drones and missiles in coordinated waves. Drones are cheaper, easier to deploy, and able to exhaust Ukraine's air defenses, forcing them to fire expensive missiles to shoot them down. Once defenses are distracted, faster and deadlier missiles penetrate through. The performance of Ukraine's systems, however, has also been remarkable. Western-supplied Patriots, NASAMS, and IRIS-T have intercepted the majority of incoming threats. Yet no system is perfect, and when even one missile slips through, the damage can be catastrophic. The performance here is measured not only in technology but in human reaction speed, the resilience of energy workers repairing grids, and firefighters extinguishing flames. Performance in this context is not about victory on a scoreboard but about survival against overwhelming odds. Safety features come into play in a different way. For civilians, the safety protocols are clear. When sirens sound, head underground, close windows to minimize blast impact, and carry emergency kits. Yet safety features are often inadequate. Buildings not designed to withstand missile strikes crumble under pressure. Still, Ukraine has introduced new digital warning systems through apps and SMS alerts, giving people extra seconds to react. In terms of military safety, air defenses act as the shield, intercepting threats before they reach populated areas. The problem is the saturation tactic. Too many drones at once overwhelms those safety features. This creates a tragic scenario where safety becomes a matter of probability, not certainty. Children practicing shelter drills in schools illustrate how ingrained the safety mindset has become. Safety here is not guaranteed, but the determination to prepare has saved countless lives. The unique selling points of this entire situation, if we translate the concept from products to warfare, revolve around perception. For Russia, the USP is the ability to wage a war of pressure at low financial cost compared to the psychological and infrastructural toll inflicted on Ukraine. By showcasing drone swarms and missile salvos, Moscow wants to signal to both domestic and foreign audiences that it maintains escalation dominance. For Ukraine, however, the USP is resilience. Despite being hit, cities continue functioning, services continue running, and people return to rebuild within hours. Western allies also showcase their USPs by pointing out how their defense systems save lives daily. Each successful interception becomes a promotional point for the technology, proving its reliability under real battlefield conditions. The uniqueness here lies in the dual message: destruction is a tool of intimidation, resilience is a countermeasure of hope. When we speak of price, it comes in many forms. Financially, the cost of each missile is staggering, millions of dollars burned in minutes. For Ukraine, the cost of intercepting them is equally heavy. But the true price is not counted in dollars or rubles. It is counted in the lives lost, in the trauma etched into children's memories, in the empty chairs at dinner tables. The price is also measured in destroyed infrastructure that will take decades to rebuild, in the displacement of families who may never return to their hometowns, and in the slowing economy that affects not only Ukraine but global markets. Energy shortages mean factories halt, homes freeze, and trade weakens. The price of war ripples far beyond the borders of the conflict zone, touching fuel prices in Europe, grain shortages in Africa, and inflation worldwide. This is not just Ukraine's price, it is humanity's. In conclusion, the story of Russia's latest barrage of drones and missiles that killed 3 in Ukraine is not just a breaking headline. It is a reflection of a war that refuses to end, of strategies that keep evolving, and of people forced to adapt to extraordinary circumstances. The exterior destruction, the interior pain, the performance of both military and civilians, the safety protocols, the unique messages sent to the world, and the unimaginable price, all form one picture of a war that continues to reshape global politics. Ukraine remains defiant, but each strike is a reminder of how fragile peace can be. For Russia, these barrages are meant to intimidate, yet they also expose the desperation of a campaign that cannot break the human spirit. For the rest of the world, the conclusion is simple but sobering: if this war continues unchecked, the ripple effects will reach everyone, everywhere.